America is not a racist country.
Ladies and gentlemen, this woman was 16 at the time she was grabbed and arrested for a crime she never, ever committed. 26 years behind bars over something she didn't even do. See, this is why I do these stories, because these folks have ran all over the place saying we are the most violent, as if they are running a meticulous criminal justice system where very few errors are done. But we're seeing errors all day and all night in the things they have done in this criminal system. The system is criminal and it needs to be done away with. It's a terrible system from the start, based on slavery. This system should have been burnt down a long time ago. It's a terrible system. It's way too many people getting out and no crime was committed on their part. We see this day in and day out. And these are the last people that should be in anybody's face talking about some violence. So anyway, this crime occurred when she was 16 years old. And wait until you hear this. LaQuanda Faye Jacobs was arrested and convicted for a crime she didn't commit. She ended up spending half of her adult life in prison. Now free, she is trying to get her life back on track. On February 9th, 1992, police in Little Rock, Arkansas, were investigating a case involving an aggravated robbery and shooting that had occurred in the afternoon. Witness to the crime had described the shooter as a woman in her 30s. She had scars under her eyes. Now look at this woman's face. Scars under her eyes, wearing black pants and a black coat. Now, when this occurred, she was 16 years old, not 30. Do you see any scars under her eyes? They said this person had scars under their eyes. Her face is clear. Police ended up questioning and arresting 16-year-old Faye Jacobs. 1 hour later, while she was, this is what she had on. She didn't have on no black outfit, but listen to this. She was still wearing the white dress she had worn to church that same morning. So when this crime occurred, she was in church, got out of church wearing a white dress. Now, when did a white dress look like black pants and a black coat? And she had an alibi. She was in church when all of this stuff had happened. Some lousy ass policing. And then you want to know why we don't trust you? All right. According to the Midwest Innocence Project, a foundation dedicated to exonerating those who have been wrongfully convicted and who represent Faye, there were an additional 5 witnesses that stated Faye was not the shooter. So you had witnesses, she had an alibi that she was in church. Other people saw her in church and she was in a white dress, 16 years old. And the person they were looking for was in their 30s, wearing black pants and a black coat. But they grabbed her up. It doesn't even make sense that she was even arrested. Witnesses said it was not her. But see, when they get on this quest to grab one of us, they don't want to hear a thing. They don't want to hear nothing. However, the juror never heard the witnesses' testimonies because her defense attorneys never took the time to investigate the crime and speak to the eyewitnesses. So she had lousy police officers dealing with the case, and then she had lousy behind attorneys. This sounds like public defenders. It doesn't say though. Instead, Faye was convicted based on the testimony of the state's two witnesses, right? The Midwest Innocent Project. One was a man who was incentivized and picked up his own charges weeks later. The other was a traumatized teenager who couldn't even recognize Faye after being shown a photograph of her twice. So you got one witness that got an incentive, and you got another witness that really could not clearly identify her, but she went to jail anyway. So she seriously got railroaded big time. He had only provided her name when he heard it from others. Because of this, and Faye being appointed what this Midwest Innocent Projects describe as a woefully inadequate counsel, she was convicted of capital murder as a 16-year-old and sentenced to life without parole. She had an alibi. There were 5 witnesses that said it wasn't her, and they still pushed this thing through and gave her a life sentence. We got the worst of the worst in charge of these different systems in this country. You couldn't have the worst evil beings in charge right now. They're the ones calling the shots, and look at what's happening. And they got the nerve to think this system is falling and there's going to be a reset and they're going to continue on with this BS that nobody on this planet wants but them. Oh boy. The Midwest Innocent Projects joined Faye's case in 2014 and was determined to release her from prison. After a featured story in The Nation and finally being resentenced in July 2018, Faye walked out of prison free, but not exonerated. Because she is no longer incarcerated, Faye cannot challenge her conviction in court and has to seek a pardon from the governor of Arkansas. That's because you got it rigged up so that even when you're innocent, you have a hard time getting the charges off of you. You got it rigged up like that. Additionally, she is not entitled to any compensation or any resources to begin her new life. And that shouldn't be either. She most certainly is in charge of compensation. You didn't put the right person. So you had her in jail, and the 30-year-old in the black pants and jacket with the scars under their eyes been walking free all this time. Y'all suck. The Midwest Innocent Project has created a GoFundMe page to help support Faye in obtaining her everyday needs. Faye's case exemplifies just how difficult it is to overturn a conviction in our justice system. Y'all got it rigged up that way. See, you know what it is? Criminals set up the criminal justice system in America. Criminals did this. Trisha Burnell, the Midwest Innocent Project executive director. It should not be this hard, but she's not done seeking justice, and neither are we. Wow, this is horrible. I'm going to see if I can go out and find the GoFundMe, and what I will do is put it in the description box for anybody that may want to make a donation. I think this is just another example of how terrible the system is ran. I think the people that run the system should burn in the deepest part of hell. And when things happen to you, don't expect us to feel sorry for you at all. But I wish Faye the best. I hope that she does have blessed days ahead for all the hell that she's been through. You know, quite often we think about, and the stories are on the men. So this is the second woman that I've done that's been wrongfully convicted. This is a total disgrace, but an example of what it's been like for our people in this country, in this disgraceful country. And they got the nerve to sit around and tell us what to support and what to pray for. Better get the hell out of here. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.